right, let's tackle the example questions for medians. Recall that the median is the line on a triangle that runs from the vertex of one side to the midpoint on the side opposite that vertex, and that if you draw all three medians in, that the point where all three of them meet, the centroid, is always 2/3 from one side of a vertex on a line and 1/3 from the other side. So let's take that information and apply it here. Example A tells us that I, K, and M are midpoints of the sides of HJL. We know that JM is 18, so this whole side from J to M is 18 units, and we need to find Jn and Nm. So Jn would be 2/3 of 18, or 12, and Nm would be 1/3 of 18, or 6. And we can verify that because obviously 6 is half of 12, and Mn should be 1/2 of Nj, and it is. And then we know that Hn is 14, and we need to find Hk, and Nk. Well, both of them, sorry. Nk would be half of 14, that's 7. And then Hk all the way across would just be 14 plus 7, which is 21. So Hk is 21. That's it. Let's take a look at example B. Example B says H is the centroid of ABC. So here's our centroid of our triangle, the center of all our midpoints. And DC equals 5y minus 16. We need to find x and y. Well, if DC is 5y minus 16 and 2y plus 8 is 2/3 of that, then we have 5y minus 16 times 2/3 is equal to 2y plus 8, right? 2y plus 8 is 2/3 of 5y minus 16. So we can get rid of that fraction by dividing both sides by 2/3. So if we divide this by 2/3, that'll cancel. And if we divide this by 2/3, that means that we're multiplying by the inverse, right? Invert and multiply to divide fractions. So we flip it over and multiply by 3/2. So we have 5y minus 16 is equal to 3/2 of 2. So 3 times 2 is 6, divided by 2 is 3, 3y, 3 times 8 is 8, 6, 24, divided by 2 is 12, plus 12. Now we can combine our y's on the left side because there's more over there. Minus 3y, that cancels. 5y minus 3y, I'm going to change colors, keep things clearer here. 5y minus 3y is 2y, and minus 16 equals 12. Add 16 to both sides, and we get 2y equals 28. So y equals 14. So now we know what y is. Y is 14. So now we need to solve for x. Let's make a little room here. Dink, dink. And similarly, to solve for x, we know that 3x plus 6, whoops, let's get a red that we can see there. 3x plus 6 is BH, so it represents 2/3 of a line. And 2x minus 1 is HF, so it represents 1/3 of a line. So that tells us that HF times 2 would be the same thing as BH, right? So we could say that 3x plus 6 is equal to 2 times 2x minus 1. 2 of these is equal to 1 of these. So distribute the 2. We get 2 times 2x is 4x. And 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Is equal to 3x plus 6. Now we have more x's on the right, so we're going to solve our x's over there. Subtract 3x from both sides, 3x from both sides, cancels. 6 equals x minus 2. Add 2 to both sides, and we get 8 is equal to x. Oops, 8 is equal to x, not 8 is equal to 8. Although it is. It doesn't help us very much. So x is 8 and y is 14. All right, let's take a look at example C. Example C tells us that B, D, and F are the midpoints of each side, and G is the centroid. Midpoint, 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 centroid. If BG is 5, find GE and BE. Well, obviously our first side is 1/3 and our second side is 2/3, so this is half of this, so 5 is half of 10. And if the first segment of our line is 5 and the second segment of our line is 10, then the entire line, BE, must be 15. There we go, all done.